Well, as Natasha just said, let's bring him in. Activist Quanell X, who is planning on holding that press conference in just a few hours, demanding Rudy's mother be charged in the case. Quanell, thank you so much for giving us some of your time here. First, let's just start. You're very invested in this, almost from when this first came out last week. We started to hear your name. What is your connection to this saga? Is there a personal connection?
The mother reached out to me and asked me for help and assistance to deal with the investigators because she was afraid that they were being intimidating and she didn't feel comfortable interacting and dealing with them. And so I said, okay, no problem. I will talk to you about the details of the case. And then we'll go ahead and set up a point to meet with investigators. We did that. When we talked, she said one thing to me. In particular, she said that the man at her home that neighbors had seen was her ex-boyfriend. But in the meeting with investigators, she said, oh no, that was my nephew, along with one other thing she said that was totally not true. At that point, I felt it was necessary to talk to Rudy without the mother being present, because when we went into the room, she told all of us, investigators as well as myself, who she asked to come and help her, that he was nonverbal and could not talk. Once she was removed from the room, Rudy opened up and spoke in detail about his relationship with his mother, his interaction with his mother, and the things his mother did to him that no woman on earth should ever do to her child or any child.
All right, so Quanell, that was one of my questions for you. So, you know, his mother said that he was nonverbal. We didn't know whether it was from the trauma of this alleged disappearance or whether he was just a nonverbal person. But you're saying that Rudy is, in fact, verbal. He can speak.
Absolutely verbal. And when he calms down, he's not emotional. He's articulate, he's clear, and he can clearly think about what he's talking about and what he's saying. There are moments that he has that are very traumatic for him when he starts going back through the memories that causes him to break down and cry. But yes, he's absolutely verbal, and he's very crystal clear when he speaks.
All right, so I want to talk about that interview. I want to talk about what you spoke with. But first, where is Rudy right now, and are you concerned for his safety?
I'm absolutely concerned for his safety. In fact, I pleaded with investigators after he spoke to me and the investigators together for an hour and 15 minutes. That entire interview with Rudy, I sat there with the detective for an hour and 15 minutes. And based on what we heard, we stepped out of the meeting, and I said to the detective, and all three of them together, there was 3 detectives, I said, you cannot let this young man leave with that woman. Please do not let him leave with his mother. After everything we just heard, after what he just told us, you cannot let him leave with his mother. And at that point, they began to start the process of trying to separate her from him at that point. But she was able to creep back to the room and begin to question him about what he told us. And she asked him, did you tell him about our relationship? And Rudy said, yes. And then she said to him, you got to take that back. You cannot tell them that. I will kill myself. That's exactly what she said to him after he had spoke to the detective for an hour and 15 minutes. That detective heard everything that Rudy said in crystal clear detail. He heard Rudy say that she made him sleep in the bed with her often, and he did not want to do it. He heard Rudy say that I hated doing that she was violating my boundaries. And we asked Rudy, did anything else happen in the bedroom? He said she would kiss him on the lips and she would get in the bed naked sometime with him. He went on to say to us that he would be in the restroom and he would be in the shower and she would get naked and come in the restroom and pull back the shower curtain. And I don't want to go any further because I don't think it would be fair to Rudy. But the things that she said told us were graphic in nature. This young man was the victim of incest and sexual abuse. She said to him, you gotta be my husband now, and you gotta play daddy now. That's exactly what he said to me, as well as the investigator.
All right, so Quanell, obviously very explosive allegations that you're making. And so we know what you're saying. You are very clear on what you say happened in that interview room. We just heard that snippet from investigators, from police in Natasha's reporting. They essentially say the polar opposite of what you are saying. How can you explain this?
It's not the polar opposite. The question was raised to them, was there any sexual abuse? And the man says, Well, it was not reported to me. I'm trained to find these things and see these things. Then the next question was there a sexual relationship between a mother and her son? They refused to answer the question and said, we treat all victims the same and we give them their privacy. Why did not you answer, was there a sexual relationship? You chose not to answer because you know what Rudy told us in that meeting. They heard it in detail, just like I did. And to be honest with you, I asked them on 3 separate occasions at the end of that meeting, is there anything I should not say to the media that would jeopardize your investigation? On 3 separate occasions, they said no. I was attempting to be courteous and thoughtful to the investigation, but they said no. They heard Rudy talk about the abuse and the drugs that his mother was giving him and got for him, the mushrooms, etc. They heard all of that.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.